Hey everybody, so I'm out today at a place near my hometown. This place is called Arlington Reservoir, and it is as the name would suggest, a water reservoir for the local towns. Nestled in the countryside a little bit. Looks like they're repairing the church over there. Moo cows. Apologies for the wind noise. And the reservoir is very full, very high, the level. So I've obviously had a lot of rain in the UK over the last few months. It makes for a nice view. And you can walk around this as we are. It's about 1 3/4 miles to walk all the way around. So it's a large reservoir. But it's just a nice place to come on a nice sunny day and walk around. It's very peaceful, apart from the wind. So I'm going to zoom into something on the hillside if you can see it. So right in the middle of the screen now is a chalk carving. So it's carved into the cliff, and there are several in the south of England. If you go down towards Dorset area, there are lots of military, I can't remember what they're called, something badges they're called, and they're military crests that are carved into the cliff, same sort of thing. But this particular one is called the Long Man of Wilmington, and there are all sorts of legends about it and how and why it came to pass. It's supposed to improve fertility if you go and sit on it, or yeah, I don't know. But it's a chalk figure that's carved into the hill, probably 40 or 50 feet tall, I guess. And further around, on another hillside, there's a horse. And interestingly enough, it is got a very unusual name. So it's a white horse that's carved into the cliff, and it's called the White Horse. Very inventive with the name. A bit like that guy, the Long Man of Wilmington. That being Wilmington, him being the Long Man. So very descriptive, the names. Excuse my sarcasm, I'm known for it. But yeah, I just thought I'd show you a local beauty spot, I suppose we'd call it. And like I say, it's in the countryside. Gives a very good impression of England, I would say, or certainly the southeast. Yeah, it's easy to sort of look at something like this and be dazzled in, wow, look at England, it's so green, it's so beautiful, and this, that and the other. And it is, don't get me wrong, it is very pretty. It's a lovely place to come and walk around. You can see these bubbling away. So as I said, this is a working reservoir, it's not just a lake. So I'm guessing they're aerators for the water maybe, or they might be to do with the pumping. But this water feeds the local towns and households. And there's a pumping station not far from here where it goes and gets filtered, etc, etc. So yeah, like I say, it's a very pretty area. And if England was like this everywhere, and that rubbish would be really nice. Unfortunately, you have this, which is lovely, and then you go into the towns and it's not so good. And I was trying to describe how I feel about the UK to somebody, and I said that it's like dating a supermodel. Your first 2 weeks, you're just mesmerised, you know, you think, wow, it's beautiful. And I think that's what the tourists get. They come to England for a week or two and are just mesmerised by the place and its beauty and its stately homes and everything else. But just like a supermodel, the beauty fades, or you get used to it. And then you're left with the core of the person, or in the case of a town or a city, the infrastructure. And a supermodel, you're left with the person, their soul, their heart, who they really are. And sometimes that might be lovely, but sometimes maybe not. And it's the same, I think, with the UK. There are areas like this that are just stunning and you think, wow, it's lovely. However, the towns and the infrastructure that are around this sort of place leave me wanting, I'm afraid. And that's the shame, you know. That's the real sort of tear from leaving England, is leaving things like this is the hard part, but the easy part is leaving things like our towns, and the way that they have just fallen into disrepair. And it's not quite a lawless society, but we're not far away from it, let's be honest. There's not enough done for the homeless at all, in any way, shape or form. And you know, the drink and the drug problem is absolutely prevalent and rife, certainly in my area. And I'm, you know, from my experience of travelling around the UK, it's no different anywhere else. And the lack of police on the streets has allowed that sort of thing to rise. And it's the death of our society. It's the death of Western society, really. It's, you know, as I say a lot of times, the death of 1,000 cuts. It's not an overnight switch, but it is slow decline. And I've watched my town decline over the last 30 years. It used to be somewhere that, you know, you were proud of, but it's just gradually got worse and worse. Not this, not places like this. This is beautiful. But certainly in the town, as you'll see from one of my other videos that I post, it's just, I won't say it's heartbreaking, because it is what it is. What can you do about it? But it is such a shame to see such lovely areas, lovely towns. And the difference with UK people, with UK consumers, is from a lot of the Western world, certainly Americans will complain, absolutely, they're famous for it. And I think a lot of other countries as well, you know, if something's not right, they'll complain about it. But we're not a nation of complainers, we're a nation of moaners. We'll moan and we'll say we're not happy about something. And, you know, if you're out for dinner, you'll say to your partner, well, I'm not keen on this, I don't like this. And when the waiter comes over and says, is everything all right? 9 times out of 10, you turn around and go, yeah, it's lovely, mate, thank you. And that's who we are. We moan, but we don't complain. And that's the same throughout our society, especially a case of cars. And I used to have this conversation with car sales. You know, they put their cars on the forecourt unprepared to see what they could get away with. And I used to try and explain to them that, you know, an English person coming to buy a car won't look at a car and then come in and see you and say, oh, I'm really interested in that car, but it's got a lot of damage, can we negotiate the price? They'll just walk away and they'll find something else to buy. Not always, but vast majority of the time. So it's always better to present the cars looking lovely. You can ask a premium price for a premium car, but to rely on people coming and talking to you about damaged cars is never a good way. Yes, you will secure deals because some people like to have a haggle, but nobody goes out to buy a beaten up car so that they can haggle the price. Everybody wants to buy a nice car, and somebody that's wanting to have a haggle or a deal will still have a haggle or a deal on a brand new car, or a, you know, a very good car. And I think that's the same with our country, with the infrastructure. I think we have beautiful areas, and we have areas in the town that are just absolutely shocking, and it's a result that everybody just accepts it and lives with it, and nobody stands up and complains about it and says that this isn't good enough, you know. They just sort of accept it and, oh, well, it is what it is and it's the way it is, and everybody moans about it. But the sum total of that is when you have a seaside resort like Eastbourne that is heavily reliant on tourism, people will return less and less each year. And the politicians will tell you that it's a change in society and it's a change of the way people think. And the reality is, people will pay for anything if it's a good service. And if you're presenting a seaside town that is immaculately clean and is well maintained and updated, or, you know, certainly new attractions added each year, it will grow. That's just fact. But if you let it fall apart, it will die. Again, it's just fact. It's not rocket science. I'm no genius here. But the council spend less and less because they have allegedly less and less money to spend. But the reality is, it's just piss poor management. 99% of the time, the funds aren't managed correctly. And so the wrong amount of money is spent in the wrong place. And they run out of money for essential things. And as I say, when you're a resort town, the first thing should be making the appearance of the town your #1 priority. So yeah, you know, it's a bittersweet video, this one. It's lovely to walk around here, and I really enjoy coming here and wandering around. It's just very calm and relaxing, very peaceful, but it's short-lived. You know, then you're back to reality, and then we go back to the supermodel analogy. After 2 weeks, you're left with the person underneath, and that might be a highly strung pain in the arse. A couple of geese flying in. See if I can get them on the camera. There we go. Canada geese. A lot of them are winter here, and in the evenings you see the big V's, the V formations flying in. So yeah, so here we go. I'll wind this one up. As always, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe to the video. Like the video, subscribe to the Plastic Russian, and share as many times as you can, as I am currently on tour in the UK. So some more videos will be popping up from the UK. Like I say, the one from the middle of my town will be uploaded very soon, and then hopefully soon I'll be heading home back to Russia. And yeah, I'll probably do another live or two to answer some questions what people have posed to me about my initial thoughts coming back to the UK, and what the differences are between here and Russia, and what I like and what I don't like. So I'll start that ball rolling by saying this is what I do like. So as I said, thanks for watching. Apologies for the wind noise. Catch you in the next one.